everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a project pan finale. So this year I've been doing a rolling style project 10-ish pan. It's what I've called it. I've really enjoyed it this year. And so this is going to be my final update. I have been updating around the 15th of every month, which has been really nice for my scheduling wise for YouTube because I have a lot of videos that I try to do at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, so it's nice to have something in the middle of the month. So I do think that I will do that again next year, try to keep it around the 15th or so. But I am going to take from December 15th through about January 15th off of project panning and just use whatever I want to. I mean, I still have a few things I'm going to try to finish up here, which I'll talk about, but yeah, that's going to be the game plan. So let's go ahead and begin with my product updates. I will start with the products that have been in the longest. So I have one that's still in from January that comes from my Sultry palette. And I've been working on the shade Pearl all year. And I still have just a little bit left. So my goal was to finish it off this year. It's the shimmery, like champagne shade. I really have enjoyed it. I've been predominantly using it in my inner corner all year. And then sometimes like layered on top of other eyeshadows on my lids. Really, really love it. So this is one that I will keep using. It's just like routine now to use it every day. So yeah, I will still keep using this one in my everyday routine. I don't know if I'll finish it by the end of the year, being that there's only 2 weeks left and I want to use other shades. Like I'm sure if I used only this, I could finish it, but that's not really the point for me. This is going to still be with me and probably be gone at the very beginning of next year. Another product that I've had in for a very long time is my lip liner. So this is from NYX. It's a wooden lip pencil in the shade Natural, and I still have just a little bit left. It is definitely probably only has one sharpen left. Today when I sharpened it, was very hard for me to grip it. So this is one that I've been tracking on a sheet of paper. Let me get this lined up for you. So this is one I probably will also keep using until the end of the year. But as you can tell here, I've made some pretty significant progress. I've basically used half of what I had at the beginning of the year. So that's really exciting. And this definitely, like I said, will probably only have one sharpen left in it and then it will be done. So you'll probably see this in my year-end empties, but didn't quite make it for today's video. Next, I've got a bronzer. So this year I've been focusing on this Hourglass Quad. This was from the 2020 holiday season. And the bronzer in here, my goal is to hit pan, and I have hit pan. I just wanted like more substantial pan. So this is the bronzer and where I'm at. So along this kind of corner, you will see that the pan is showing it's a terracotta pan. So it's not like a shiny metal pan, but it definitely is pulling the product away from the corner there. I have tracked my uses on this. I have used it a total of 111 times, which is crazy. I've never tracked a product over 100. So I am very pleased with this. I did technically hit pan and I just kept going with it because I want to see more of the pan, but very, very happy. I am going to call this one a success. And 111 uses is pretty good. I'm very pleased with the amount of use I've been able to get out of this product. And I definitely feel like I've started to get my money's worth, even though there's a lot still in here. All right, so in September, I brought in a single eyeshadow, which is from the Ulta House brand. This is the shade Purest Snow, and my goal is to finish it. I had a hunch that I wasn't going to finish it this year, but I'm very happy with the progress I've made. So the pan is definitely growing. It's a pretty deep eyeshadow, but that first ring is fully showing now. It's 1.7 grams, so it's, you know, substantially larger than some of my shades in like palettes. But this is what I use to set my primer down. I use this to help blend anything out. I use it as a under the brow bone highlight. This is just like a utility eyeshadow for me. So it's been really nice to have just a go-to to work on. And watching the pan expand has been great, but I'm also looking forward to finishing this up hopefully next year. So this one is not completed, but I am very, very pleased with the amount of progress I've been able to make so far. And I probably will just keep using it every day because why not, you know? Also in September, I brought a blush into the project and I had the goal to use it 30 times. This is from the Physicians Formula Glow Face Palette. And the blush in here is called Beachy Peach, which is definitely a peachy shade. It looks a little bit more pink in the pan than how it actually shows on the face. This is a very glowy, kind of shimmery, not highlight, but blush. And I've learned that I just really don't kind of care for it as much as I thought I would. Now, I actually acquired this palette earlier this year because when I was traveling for work, my luggage went missing for about a day. So I had to buy some new makeup. And this is one of the items I picked up from the drugstore. So I probably wouldn't have bought this if that whole crazy situation didn't happen. And I'm glad that I've been able to use this palette. I do have pan in this bronzer, and I've used this blush a total of 27 times that I've tracked. I'm sure I've used it more than that. But yeah, tracked 27 uses. So I still feel like I got good use out of it. I've just learned this isn't my favorite blush. Out of my collection, I'd prefer to use other things. The last item I brought in September was an eyeshadow from my ColourPop Bare Necessities palette. So this year I made it kind of a trend to hit pan on all these like cream and white type of eyeshadows in my palettes, as well as start to work through some of the dark browns and blacks because I use them as eyeliner. So I just wet a flat liner brush and I pick it up in the pan and then draw on my eyeliner. I really like it, and I don't have to buy eyeliner anymore. So the shade that I was working on is the shade Baubles, and I actually hit pan this morning. So I just have a little sliver in there. I will use it a few more times to make that grow a little bit, but hopefully you're able to see it there. I'm really, really happy I was able to get one more pan in, and this palette definitely is looking more loved overall. I have 5 pans in this, so very proud of that too. But yeah, I was very happy to see that pan come through this morning, and exciting to have one more down, and I can move on to another one in a few days once I kind of expand that pan just a little bit more. The last few items I have here were all brought into this project in October. So the first is a lipstick. This is a little mini from Bite Beauty, and this is their old lipstick line, but this is the shade Chai, which I believe they still have this shade. So this is what it looks like. It's just a little baby lipstick here, and I had the goal to use it 20 times in this project pan just to get use out of it. I really, really enjoyed this shade. It's like a nice berry cranberry type shade, and so far I've used it 10 times. I will keep using it throughout the rest of this, kind of winter holiday season. I think it's really beautiful for like holiday, Christmas makeup, New Year's makeup, that type of thing. So I will get some more use out of it, but it was nice to get some dedicated use, especially because I've had this in my collection for a while now, and because it's so little, it kind of gets overlooked across my other lipsticks. So I'm very happy that I did decide to pull it in, and I got 10 uses so far. Also in October, I brought a primer in. I had the goal to finish this up. This is from I Heart Revolution. It's the Peach Delight Mattifying Primer. It's like a silicone feeling primer. It's just clear. And I've been using this quite a bit, and it's definitely to the point now, you can see how thin it is, that I am really having to kind of twist and turn this packaging to get anything out. So I just made a little marking here for, purposes of the video, but I really think that I only have maybe like a week's worth left in here. So I also will be trying to kind of focus on this in the next week or so to get it into my empties. Basically, the moral of the story is watch my empties at the end of the year to see if I actually finish these things up. I'm just not going to like officially force myself to use them, or not even force, but like put priority on it. Like if I don't want to use this one day, I just won't use it. It's not that big of a deal. But it has been nice to focus on it. So not quite done, but very, very close. I brought in another eyeshadow in October, and it is a Super Shock shadow. So this came from my ColourPop Wild Nothing palette, and this is the shade Spirited. And so this is it right here. My goal was to hit pan on it. I have not hit pan on it. It is obviously like a very emollient kind of creamy type texture. So it's very easy to move it around the pan. And I was getting very close to the pan on the side that I've been focusing on. But then I realized all I've been doing is pushing it up on the other side. So I pushed it all back down because I didn't want it like falling out of the pan. And I don't know, it just seemed like a fake pan to me. So I did kind of level it back out a little bit. I mean, I do definitely have a dip in here. It's a very high shine, shadow, but it's more of like a topper. So that's how I found that I like it the best, is I will put down like a different eyeshadow or one that just lacks a little luster, and I can tap this on top to add some sparkle, and I've really enjoyed it that way. So I'm really glad that I brought this in to focus in on. I probably will focus on the other Super Shocks I have more next year. I only have them in palettes. But because they're in pallets, it makes me think that maybe they're going to dry up faster than if they were in the normal packaging, you know? So I ended up using the Super Shock 13 times since I've brought it in, which is way more than I would have if I didn't bring it in. I know that for a fact. So it's been really great, and I have a newfound love for it and appreciation as a topper shade. The last item I have to update for you is also from this Hourglass Quad. So I had the use goal for the highlighter in here to use it 30 times. Now I've used this probably more than 30 times throughout the whole year. This is my go-to travel palette. So if I'm going out of town, this is what I bring because it has a blush, bronzer, and highlight in it. So I know I've traveled a number of times this year and this has always been with me. So I know I've used it, but I just wanted to have some more like focused use in this highlighter here. So I put the gold for 30 times. I ended up using it 23 times. So I didn't quite meet that 30, but you know, I'm very happy that I was reaching for it. It made it easy because it's all in one and I was already using this bronzer and I use this shade to set my under eye every day. So it kind of worked out anyway, but yeah, very pleased that I was able to get more use out of this. This year, I certainly leaned into the use goals more than I ever have in the past. I think traditionally, Project Pan's now thinking like when I was in college and like just joined the panning community in like 2015, it was like hit pan or finish. There wasn't really like use goals or use half of a product. It was kind of like an all or nothing feeling. And certainly over the years, I've seen that change. And I'm really glad that I have been trying the use goals and I really like them because sometimes my goal isn't always to just finish something up because I've been in the mindset before where like, I'm going to try to finish this bronzer and I don't touch my other bronzers. So that's something I think I'll bring with me into the new year with my next Project Pan is having more use goals. And that way I can still say I used everything in my collection that year maybe. And I still touched it and I still liked it and all of those things, but I'm not neglecting other parts of it because I'm project panning. So that's something that if you've never done a use goal, I would consider it. I really have enjoyed it. But that is going to wrap up my project plan for this year. I will link the playlist of all of the videos from this year's updates and stay tuned for a new rolling style project pan in January. I'd love to hear from you down below if you plan to do any project pans. Let me know what you plan to try out or do in the upcoming year so that I can be on the lookout for your videos. That's going to be it for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.